What's up, everybody? I felt like I needed to do this review because it was only two quality reviews that I could go off of before I started school, and one was done by Yance. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, but it's done by Yancey Haywood, and the other one was On the Road with Ali Tough or Ollie Tough. Um, so without wasting any time. I'm gonna go in. First, I'm gonna start off with why I chose the school. One, I chose the school because it was 5 minutes away, and another reason is because my driving record wasn't the best at the time. It was nothing crazy. It got suspended because before COVID, I got a ticket. They kept pushing it back. They suspended it. I got everything fixed though. I've had my license back for about 5 months, so I wouldn't get accepted by schools like Swift or Prime or like Night. They just saw that, and I guess their insurance companies didn't like that, so I knew I had to go with a school that I could just go to and not worry about working for them. So it worked perfect for me, using Shipper's Choice. I did want to give you guys tips before. If you choose this school, any school, you want to have your permit. You want to have your permit, and that's because when you start school with your permit, you can do anything. If they tell you to get on the truck, you can get on the truck. If you don't have your permit, they won't let you on the truck at all. Like, they won't even let you do your maneuvers in the parking area, or they called it the on the range. Before I get into it, so there's a 3-week deadline where if you don't get your permit after the third Monday, they recycle you to the next class. You don't have to pay anything extra, but you will get recycled to the next class. Another thing is the first week you will be behind the wheel. You won't be on the road yet, but you will be behind the wheel. So the first 2 days we spent in class. I know the second day we spent the whole day going over logbook. I forgot about the first day, but yeah, man, yeah. All right. The pros of the school was the instructors want you to win. It was a family-oriented environment. I really enjoyed all my instructors. I'm not sure who you guys would get, but my main instructor was Greg, my classroom instructor. Then we had Stevens, we had T, and we had Tuck. They were all hilarious, man. I actually enjoyed coming to school. I enjoyed waking up, coming to school. And just when it felt like my options were limited and the school wasn't going to be too good of a school based on some reviews I seen, and I also seen there was like a news report about this whole school, I really enjoyed it, man. Another pro is it didn't feel like they were money hungry. It didn't feel like they were just using me so they could, get for profit or get their money. It really felt like this is something that they took pride in, and that made me feel good. Another pro was you get very diverse instructors, and I also put like it can be good and bad because they all teach a different way, and it was about 3 of them. Well, 4 of them, it's included in Greg. So everyone taught a different way. So I believe when you go in there, you need to latch on to 1 or 2 instructors on how they instruct certain things. So like for maneuvers, I learned well with Stevens. I learned some stuff from Tuck and T. So you gotta really choose who you're gonna go with what 1 or 2 people you're gonna go with. I combined the way 2 people taught me. I combine it with how T taught me to steer to the prom. Wherever I see my trailer ties the most is where I want to turn to. You'll get into all of that. But yeah, it can get stressful because there's so many instructors teaching different ways. So it can just really stress you out. Like, damn, I'm not getting it with him, so I'm gonna go to him. You gotta listen to them, but find what works for you and understand that they are there to help you. So don't shut them out, because I've seen a lot of people get frustrated. Like I said, it felt like a family. Last day was sad for me because it was like, damn, man, 20 days fly by. It's a 4-week program, but it's a total of 20 days in there. So the 4 weeks includes weekends and stuff. And obviously, if you're full-time, you won't be doing it during the weekend. But if you're part-time, you're only doing it during the weekend. That was just too long for me. I wanted to lock in and get it done. All your tests that you take will be in the book after every chapter. So the first 2 tests, I believe I didn't do very well because We read as a class, and I don't really, reading as a class for me is cool, but I get things when I can read it multiple times. So when you get your book, just make sure you go home. You don't have homework. When you go home, this should be your homework. They're gonna give you the chapters for every day. But if they don't, you can ask, hey, what chapters are we doing tomorrow? And when I started doing that, I was getting the answers in my book. So when I went to school the next day, I already knew what the answers were. Um, Another pro was the truck was moving every day. With the 2 first days of you're not gonna be doing anything. Second day you're gonna be doing your logbook, but the truck was moving every day after that second day on the range. That doesn't mean you're gonna be on the road every day. It just means you're gonna be on the range every day, moving those trucks. And I think that's what built my confidence up. Don't get discouraged, man. First week, I'm not gonna say I was the best, but I was doing well when it came to straight back. I'm like, okay, I got this. Offset, I got really frustrated. I'm hard on myself. I overthink. So when I got home, I was just stressed out. What's going on? Offset it was a learning curve, man. It was a learning curve. I used to drive manuals, so it was easy for me to just focus on the maneuvers rather than playing with the clutch or anything. So if you don't have much experience with manuals, it would be in your best interest to like find a friend who drives a manual, learn how to drive a manual, and just get used to it. So that way you're not fighting with learning the transmission and maneuvering the truck. And that really helped me. It really, really helped me. A pro to me also was, so I did the class that started in April 10th and ended August 8th. Oh, excuse me, August 4th. So my school just ended, but the first payment wasn't due until September 15th. And my last day was August 8th. Oh, excuse me, August 4th. So that was a blessing for me. I don't have to worry about payments during school. I can just lock in and focus on school. I didn't have to worry about what I was gonna do financially. The payments aren't coming out until almost 2 months later. Well, a month and some change later. But that was very helpful. And the first payment is gonna be $167 on the 15th of September, even though school ended August 4th. Another pro to me was it was only $500 down, and then I financed the rest. That was $4,995, roughly $5,000. But $500 down. I mean, and the whole thing is basically $5,000. That just helped me out a lot. Like $500 down, lock in. One of the cons to me was every instructor does teach different, so it can feel overwhelming. Because you're like, damn, he's teaching me this way, but when I'm doing it this way, another instructor's telling me, don't do it this way. You need to let them know, hey, this is what works for me, But of course, after a while, if it's not working, you need to start listening to them. But don't shut them out. Just say, hey, so-and-so taught me this way, so I'm trying to learn this way, or sometimes just don't say anything. Just keep going with your move. One time I got to a point where Stevens actually asked me to pull ketchup and mustard and get out, and that means pull your emergency brake, pull your parking brake, 3 points of contact, get out the truck. That was his way of telling me, like, man, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to get out. A con to me was old and worn equipment. The trucks are older, they're worn. Everybody's learning on these transmissions, so the transmissions aren't the greatest. The clutches aren't the greatest. At one point, the steering wheel was upside down for me. At one point, the steering wheel was like this for me. So if you're trying to learn how to maneuver a truck and you don't know which way, excuse my language. If you don't know which way is up or which way is forward, you know what I mean? It can make it harder. Like, I already don't know how to maneuver this truck, and now I don't even know what position my steering wheel is in. That was a con for me. Another con for me was it was slightly unorganized. Sometimes you would go in there knowing, okay, they told me we're going on the road today, and for some reason you're not going on the road. Because anytime my main instructor wasn't there, we never went on the road. And he said, according to him, he said that in order for us to go on the road, he had to be there. So don't get discouraged if that does happen. Yeah, man. Stay on top of your goals and don't expect your hand to be held. What I mean by that is it's a 20-day class. So if for all 20 days you're not in there with that I want to learn, mindset, it's going to be hard for you. Every time we went out there, I was adamant about getting on that truck next. Don't make friends. You're not there to make friends. Don't talk to John or whoever. and not get on the truck, because I've watched a lot of people get recycled or fail because they were more interested in hanging out with the cool kids. And I had to separate myself from that. So oftentimes I was with people who would be like, yo, why you hang out with them? And that's actually what was said to me. Why you hang out with them? And I'm hanging out with them because we got the same goal. We focused and we teaching each other. I'm not there to make friends. So what you mean? Um, it can be a large class. We start off like, I want to say about 25 people, ended with like 19, I want to say. So the lines, it was 2 trucks on both sides. We're both doing the same maneuvers, and eventually we had a truck that went to new maneuvers because a group of my students, we were learning faster than others. So instead of us waiting, we moved on. While they were still doing straight backs, we were doing offsets, and then we moved on to parallel. I was just a part of that faster learning group. You need to get in there, and you need to remember while you're there, you're not there to make friends. You're not there to meet no girls. Just get on that truck and handle business. It can be up to about 20 minutes before you get your turn again, because some instructors are adamant about get in, get out. And if you don't get it by this time, I'm sorry, we got more people. And some instructors, they want you to learn, which is awesome. But I mean, I've seen one person take up to 15 minutes for one person. And I mean, it can be 8 down here and 8 with my group of students, 8 here and 8 there. So I mean, if every instructor's doing that with every person, it can take a while. The pre-trip is very important. That's the first thing you need to pass before you get to the maneuvers. And if you pass the maneuvers, then you get to your road test. Pre-trip. As soon as you get pre-trip, don't wait till the last week to start studying it. If you start studying it from day one, 20 minutes a day, from day one, when it comes time for you to test, you'll get it. I procrastinated a little bit on the pre-trip, but the one of the DMV instructor there who wrote it, that's what they're testing you on. So don't go to YouTube and learn it their way. That's going to be good for when you get out of there. I'm not saying don't use YouTube at all, but Mike is the guy who wrote this pre-trip for your class, and he's going to be testing you. So if you learn from Sarah on YouTube, it's just gonna mess things up. So learn your pre-trip. The packet you get, you learn your pre-trip. And that's what helped me out a lot. I didn't go to YouTube. Once I learned that, I studied my pre-trip packet. One thing you guys need to focus on is voicing your concerns, because the person who tested before me failed because he only went on the road twice. Me, I went on the road 5 times because I was adamant. I raised my hand every time I needed to go, and I had my permit the first day. If you didn't walk in the door with your permit and you didn't have it the first week, you already missing 3 days of being able to operate it. And then the next, I mean, I know people who didn't get the permit until the ending of the 2nd week or the beginning of the 3rd week, because that was the deadline, or you'll get recycled. So if you've been there and you haven't done anything for the first 2 weeks, I mean, 2 weeks have passed. Now you're starting your 3rd week. Oh, I got my permit the 3rd week. Congratulations. But now you got to understand, like, dang, I have to the rest of this week and to the rest of next week to really catch up. So now you're stressing out more. So go in there with your permit. So from day one, you're behind the steering wheel. I went 5 times. Unfortunately, he only went twice. You see what I'm saying? So, and he said that too. Like he was telling the instructors, like, yo, I need to go on the road. I need to go on the road. And then he tested, and he got very far though. I'm proud of him. He got to the road part, and it was hard for him because he didn't go on the road at all. So make sure you voice your concerns. Hey, I need to go on the road. I was the second to test on the first day. It was 2 of us. That's because I didn't miss no time. All my information was in there, and all my dues were paid. Make sure you have your Social Security card. Make sure you have your driver's license. I had to come with a bank statement. My $500 down. You got to pay $50 in books and material. One book you won't use. It's just like a safety manual. One's your log book, which I will be doing every day. And one is the book that you're going to be reading together, and you're going to, want to go home and do some of these chapters before you get to class. Honestly, this school worked for me despite the equipment, the large class, and the fact that it was only 20 days. I believe most CDL schools are 4 weeks. Sorry if I'm wrong, but most of them are 4 weeks, so it can be overwhelming. Like I said, I overthink a lot, so it was just It was stressful for me. I was overthinking though. I will tell you, going there with your permit, I passed all my permit on the first day. Yeah, your permit is general knowledge, combinations, and air brakes. First time I took them, I passed them, all three of them. So just study. There's 3 apps. I'll link in the description. I learned it from a lady who did a review on the school she went to. One had a blue steering wheel, one was a blue app, and one was red. And I used all 3 of those, and it helped me. I listened to YouTube videos when I was on the road because I drove box trucks, picking up and dropping off loads. If I had to give the school a grade, me personally, don't quote me, or don't think that you're gonna come in there and have the same experience as I did, but I would give it a 9 out of 10 stars, only because it was a great experience, man. I didn't believe in myself. My instructor signed me up for the first day, and he said I wouldn't have signed you up if you weren't ready. So I went in there on my test date, and I was not as confident in myself as I should have been, but I knocked it out the first try. And like I said, this is not gonna work like this for everybody else. But the day before I tested, the parallel was the hardest maneuver for me, and I failed to get it in the box I'm not even gonna lie to you, about 15 times. I failed to get into the box. I was frustrated. I was super frustrated. But when I got home and I tested that next day, I went in there. I didn't have too much confidence, and I got it in the box the very first time. No pull up. No, well, I pulled up in the box just to get away from the rear cone, because I did hit the rear cone, and you do miss points if you hit a cone. So I hit the cone. All I had to do was pull up, got out. I checked around, and everything has to be in a box. So even if your tires are in a box, if your mirror's hanging out, you park slanted like this in the box, so your trailer is crossing the line, you will fail. So make sure when you get out that truck, you close the eye, you look, make sure you all the way in the box. Luckily, I had my homies cheering me on behind me. They had their thumbs up. I went around the truck. You get 2 free get out and looks before you get charged. So that doesn't mean you just get 2 get out and looks, period. You get 2 free before you start losing points for using another one. And you get 2 pull-ups. So every maneuver you get 2 pull-ups. And you can do it more than twice, but you start to get charged. Yeah, man, the parallel was the hardest for me, but I got it down. It all boils down to how bad you want it, man. And I wanted it real bad, because this was going to change my life. I got 2 kids, so I knew this was going to change my kids' life. Man, it was an emotional day when I passed, man. It was very emotional, because I've wanted this for a while, but I just decided to go at it. I didn't believe in myself. My instructors believed in me. They gave me the first date. My instructor looked me in my eyes and said, "I'm not going to let you retest." He was like, "'Cause you're ready. Don't not retest, but reschedule. Don't reschedule your tests," I would say, because the longer you wait, the more you're gonna forget what you've learned. And another reason I like this school is because when you schedule a test, you can come in 2 days for free before you test, just to get some extra experience, or some extra practice. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget out on anything here, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, just go in here. Know it's a 20-day program. Just focus. I passed my permit and got my license the first go. I didn't fail. Even if it doesn't work like that for you, just keep going. Like I said, since my license was messed up, I don't think I'll be able to go with my first option. It was a lousy seatbelt ticket, and but they asked me to call the court and show that it was a seatbelt ticket, and it did get pushed back due to COVID. So if I can get those documents, they'll be able to take me. But there are companies out there who will take you, so don't get discouraged. Just keep looking. I know Western Express and Warner, they're a little bit more lenient. I was trying to go to Stevens. Stevens Transportation, they just blew everybody else out the water. I like what they came with. I like their trucks. I like that it started in you go to Texas for training, $800 a week for training. I mean, that's beautiful to me. So yeah, man, just stay focused, do what you do. This is what it looks like when you get when you pass the class. I got my CDL like 4 days ago. So I didn't get my card yet because it's joy. Oh, a whole bunch of random, irrelevant stuff that y'all not gonna really care about. But yeah, man, just enjoy yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. It can be stressful if you're not getting these maneuvers, but if it's stressful, that means you care and you're passionate about what you're doing. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't want to have that I don't care attitude, because that means you really don't care. And yeah, man, if y'all have any questions, just comment and I'll answer them, man. Y'all enjoy, all right?